Welcome to Olympia, Greece, the birthplace of the Olympic Games and one of the most sacred sites of the ancient world. For over 1,000 years, athletes from all over the Greek world gathered here to honor the gods and compete for glory. In this video, we're exploring the ruins, the legends, and the lasting legacy of Olympia. Let's take a step back in time and uncover where it all began. Our cruise ship arrived in Katakolon, Greece, and we hopped on a bus for the 35-kilometer ride to Olympia. Once we arrived, it was a short walk from the parking lot where the buses dropped us off to the entrance. Once we arrived at the entrance, the tour guide gave us a few minutes to use the facilities, and then it started to rain. You want to explain to the people what's going on?
Hello, people, live from Olympia. We are on a tour of the ancient Olympic village, and it is raining. We are not prepared for the rain. Well, I am not. Nicole is a little more prepared. I am not prepared at all. But we're going to make it work. Okay, see you later.
The first recorded Olympic Games were held in 776 BC, and they continued for nearly 12 centuries. These games weren't just a showcase of athleticism, they were a unifying force for the often warring Greek city-states. Every 4 years, during a sacred truce, athletes and spectators came together to celebrate the physical prowess and religious devotion. Olympia is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that takes you back over 2,700 years to a time when athletes arrived from across the ancient Greek world and gathered to compete in honor of Zeus, the king of the gods. One of the highlights here is the Temple of Zeus. Once home to a colossal gold and ivory statue of the god, this structure was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Although the statue no longer exists, standing here amongst the ruins gives you a sense of just how grand it must have been. After touring the grounds for about 45 minutes, we finally made our way to the ancient stadium of Olympia. This is where the magic happened. Imagine 45,000 spectators cheering as athletes competed in running, wrestling, and even chariot racing. The ancient stadium of Olympia, built in the 5th century BC, was the heart of the Olympic Games. Located just east of the Temple of Zeus, the simple yet iconic stadium featured a 192-meter-long track, the length of a stadion, which is where we get the word stadium. Athletes competed here in foot races and other athletic events surrounded by grassy embankments where spectators gathered. Unlike modern arenas, the stadium had no permanent seating or elaborate structures, reflecting the Greeks' emphasis on the athletic spirit and the sacred nature of the games. Thinking about her days in track and field, Melina couldn't help but get out on the track and run a lap. Sort of. This trip to Olympia offered the perfect blend of history and culture. If you're a fan of Greek mythology or the Olympic Games, this is a trip that shouldn't be missed. Until next time, safe travels.
Here we are.